Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Recently I got a message from one of my subscribers and he wanted me to calculate the return on investment of a investment plan he was thinking about. Let me explain you what was his investment plan and then I will show you how I have calculated the return on investment of the plan. The person has around 1 crore rupees available for investing and he wanted to invest that money in a real estate property only. So he was fixated on that investment plan for some reason and his idea was he will use his 1 crore fund to buy a property and then he will put that property on rent, and whatever rental income that he will earn, he will use that money to start a mutual fund SIP, and that SIP he will continue for next 10 years. After 10 years, what he will do, after 10th year, he will both sell the property and he will also liquidate all the mutual fund units that he has accumulated. So he wanted me to calculate the ROI, return on investment, for this plan. He also had another investment plan in his mind where he was thinking that instead of using the full 1 crore, what he will do, he will put 20% as the down payment for a home loan. So basically he wanted to go through a home loan route to fund his property purchase. So he will put 20% as a down payment. The balance 80% he will use to pay the EMI of the home loan. So he will buy the property using the home loan, and then again he has the same logic that he will put the property on rent, and whatever rent will come, he will use those money to gradually accumulate mutual fund units. And again after 10 years he will sell the property. He will also liquidate all the mutual fund units that he has accumulated. So this was his second alternative. And again he wanted to know what will be the return on investment of this plan. So he wanted to use either of the plan, either this or this, and he will take the decision based on the ROI. He wanted to know that which plan will have a higher ROI, and based on that he will take his investment decision. So in this video I will show you how I have calculated the return on investment for these two investment plans. So let's start the video. To calculate the return on investment of the two investment plans, it was important to forecast the cash flows. So I will show you what assumptions I have made to calculate the cash flows, and based on the cash flows that I have estimated, how I have calculated the return on investment. So let's go with the option number 1 first. So our basis was the person has 1 crore rupees available for investing, and for option number 1, what he did, it was basically a self-funded investment. Why I call it self-funded? Because he will use all of his capital, the 1 crore rupees, to buy the property, no home loan, nothing. So he will buy the property of 1 crore rupees, and then I have assumed a 3% rental yield. 3% rental yield means for a property of 1 crore rupees, he will earn around 3% of 1 crore, which is around 3 lakh rupees, which is approximately 25,000 rupees per month. So he will earn a 3% rental yield, and on the property there will be 3 kind of costs. The first will be the property tax. I have assumed that the property tax will be around 35% of the rent that he is earning on his investment. The second will be the annual maintenance cost of the property. It means that the for upkeeping the property, like the painting, the miscellaneous repair works and other things, he will need around 20% of the monthly rent that he will earn, and this cost will be paid only annually. Similarly, this property tax is also an annual expense, and the third cost will be the society maintenance charges that he will have to pay, and that will be a monthly expense, and I have assumed a 10% of the rental income, of the monthly rental income that he has and that he will earn. All these values are on the monthly rental income basis. So now, after adjusting for all these three costs, whatever net rental income he will have in his hand, he will put this in a SIP, and I've assumed a 16% return on the SIP, and that SIP will continue for next 10 years. So after 10 years, what will happen? He would have accumulated some mutual fund units through the SIP. So he will have some mutual fund units, and he will also, his property will also appreciate in these 10 years. So what I have assumed that his property will appreciate at the rate of 6.5% for the next 10 years. So he will have, after 10 years, he will have two things in his hand. First of all, his 1 crore property will become 1.87 crores in 10 years. And second, his investment corpus, the corpus of his mutual fund will be around 88.47 lakhs. So in total, after 10 years, he will have 2.76 crores in his investment portfolio. So just to estimate the cash flows, what I have assumed that on 1st of December 2025, the person is investing around 1 crore rupees for the property purchase. Then on 1st January 2036, 10 years after, the person will have 1.87 crores. He will have from the sale proceeds of his property, and also on 1st January 2036, 10 years from now, he will have around 88.47 lakhs from the sale proceeds of his mutual fund units. So we have these three dates, we have these cash flows. This is the investment, and so that's why I have marked it as negative, and these are the positive cash flows. These two are the positive cash flows. So based on this cash flow, the return on investment, I have used the XIRR formula that you can use either in Excel or in Google Sheets, and for this investment, his return on investment is 10.56%. So this is the return on investment for that option where he is not using any home loans. He is using completely his 1 crore capital, and by use of that capital, he is generating some cash flows, and at the end of the investment tenure, that is 10 years, he will have 2.76 crores in his pocket, and his return on investment will be 10.56%. Now let's go to option number 2. This is a bit more complicated option. So what is happening here? The person again has 1 crore rupees, but what he is doing, he is dividing his 1 crore corpus into two parts. First is he is using 20 lakhs as a down payment for the home loan. So what I have assumed for the home loan, he will take a home loan at an interest rate of about 9% per annum, and that home loan will continue for next 20 years. So he will use this home loan to buy the property, and his self contribution is only 20 lakhs, the 20%. So he will buy the property, he will put the property on rent. The rental yield again I have assumed as 3%, and in this case there will be 4 kind of costs for the person. The first cost will be the home loan EMI, which will be 71,978, because he has bought a property which is worth 1 crore. So he has put 20 lakhs from his pocket, and he has taken a 80 lakh loan. So for a 80 lakh loan at 9% per annum for 20 years, the loan EMI will be 71,978. So this will be the first cost, and it will happen on monthly basis. So this loan EMI will be monthly basis. Second, the annual expense will be the property tax. I've assumed 35% of the rental income. The third cost will be the annual maintenance cost. I've assumed just 20% of the rent, and again the society maintenance charges has to be paid, and that will be around 10% of the rent. So after bearing all these costs, the net rent that remains in the hands of the investor, he will use to buy the mutual fund units. But you can say that because this person has to pay a home loan, there will be no positive cash flow. So how he can invest in the SIP? For that, what the person is thinking, that he has 1 crore rupees with him, but he has used only 20% of his funds. The balance 80 lakhs, what he has done, he has used those 80 lakh rupees to buy a debt fund, a debt mutual fund. And what he has done, he has distributed his 80 lakh corpus into 10 debt fund. Basically it is the same debt fund, but he has, in his mind, he's assuming that he has bought 10 debt funds. And what he has done, he has distributed the 80 lakh. He has made a segregation, one debt fund is 8,63,737 rupees. Why 8,63,000? The logic of 8,63,000 is, if he's paying a home loan of 71,978 per month, so in 1 year he will pay how much? He will pay 8,63,737. So from here this value 8,63,767 is coming. You see, he has purchased 9 such debt funds of 8,63,737. What is the logic behind this? The logic is, whenever he has to pay the loan EMI, he will pay this EMI from this debt fund. He will liquidate a part of his debt fund units, and the proceeds he will use to pay the home loan. But because he is invested in a debt fund, he will earn some interest, and I have assumed the interest of 8% per annum from the debt fund. Let's say in the first year he has to pay, in the first year of his investment he has to pay 8,63,737. Okay, so for the first year I've assumed a 0% return, because what I've assumed, that he has not put anything in debt fund. He has put everything in his savings account, and that's why you can see the interest earned on the debt fund in the first year I've assumed as 0. From the second year, what will happen? His 8,63,737 will earn a return of 8%, but this fund will be kept only for 1 year. So that's why you see the interest is only 69,000 rupees. The third fraction of the debt fund, it will remain for 2 years in the account. This will remain for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are the number of years that the fund is remaining in the bank account. This is remaining for 1 year. This is remaining for 0 years. Remaining for 1 year. This is for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 years. But you can see this 10th amount is not 8,63,000. It is 2,26,000. Why it is 2,26,000? Because if you add all these values, it should come out to be 80 lakhs, right? Because he has only 80 lakhs in his kitty. So in the last year, what will happen? He doesn't have all 8,63,000 to pay the EMI. What he will do? Whatever interest he has earned here, he will put that interest into this debt fund, and he will then pay for the EMIs. So in these 10 years, you can see the interest that he will earn is around 32 lakh rupees from this 80 lakh investment. So what he will do? he will transfer from this 32 lakh that he has earned on interest from debt fund, he will transfer this 6 lakhs rupees, around 6 lakhs 37,000 in his last 10th debt fund, and the balance will still be 26 lakh rupees as his income. So you can see here we were thinking that how he can invest in SIP because he has taken a home loan, but to pay the home loan he is using his 80 lakh debt fund investment. For the balance amount, he will earn a 3% rent, and from that 3% rent he will pay this property tax, annual maintenance and society maintenance, and even after paying all these three costs, he will still have some positive cash flows. So that positive cash flow he will invest in a mutual fund that will earn him a return of 16%, and that mutual fund investment he will continue for next 10 years. So now let's see what is happening after 10 years. What kind of cash flows he is having after 10th year. So after the 10th year, the first thing that he will do, he will sell the property. The property that he has purchased for 1 crore, I've assumed that the property rate will grow at 6.5% per annum for the next 10 years. So after 10 years, his property value will be 1.877 crores. So from 1.877 crore, what he will do? He has a loan, so he will make the prepayment of the loan. His loan balance after 10 years will be 56 lakhs rupees. So I've assumed out of 1.877 crores, he will pay 56 lakhs rupees to clear the loan balance. And then he can sell the property, and because he has also purchased some mutual fund units, so he will have around 88.21 lakhs from his mutual fund units. He will also sell those units, and also he will have around 26 lakhs rupees from his debt fund investment. You remember, he will earn around 32 lakh interest from debt funds, out of which 6 lakhs he will pay for this 10th debt fund. The balance will be 26 lakhs, and that 26 lakhs will come here as his net cash flow. So for this investment plan, where he is using the home loan to buy the property, he will have these kind of cash flows. Plus he will also have to pay the EMI. So for this kind of investment, I have prepared this cash flow report. I have assumed that on 1st of December 2025, the person has bought the property by paying only 20 lakh rupees. Okay, because he has made only the down payment, and the balance cash flows are his EMIs. Okay, so he will continue paying the EMIs for all these months. So you can see all the EMIs are getting paid for next 20 years. It's interesting to see what happens after the 20th year. You can see after the 20th year, I've assumed on 1st of February 2036, 10 years from now, he will sell the property. And what value he is getting after selling the property? 1.87 crores, right? Then he will, but before selling the property, he will also clear his loan outstanding. How much value he is paying? He is paying 56 lakhs rupees to clear his loan balance. And then he will earn some cash flow from the debt fund, which is around 26 lakh rupees. And he will also earn around 88 lakh rupees from his SIP corpus. So for this kind of cash flow, we will have to use XIRR formula of Excel or Google Sheet. And by using this formula, I have calculated that his return on investment is 13.2% per annum. So you can see the investment in which he was using a home loan route. For that, the return on investment is coming out to be 13.2%. But for that case where he is using all his money, self-funded money, the return on investment is coming out as 10.56%. But there is something very important to note here. You can see at the end of the 10th year, the net money that is in the pocket of the person is 2.762 crores rupees. But in this case, the money is 2.45 crores. The money is actually less in the pocket, but on paper, the return is showing a better number. What I'm saying is he has invested around 1 crore, and at the end of the 10th year, he has 2.45 crores in his pocket. But in Excel, the return is showing as 13.2%. Here you can see he has invested 1 crore and he has more money in his pocket. He has 2.762 crores, but the investment is showing as 10.56%. So I think the person should take the investment decision not on basis of the ROI. He should take the decision on the basis of the cash flow. So for option number 1, though the return on investment is showing less, but his cash flow is higher in this case. So that's why I think for him the return on the option number 1 will fetch him more cash, and that's why he should take option 1 route for his investment plan. I hope you like this video. Do consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and thank you for watching. See you in the next video.